Alright, hey kids. So I'm officially taking the plunge and walking around talking to a camera in public. And largely so I can sing a song if anybody sees me. But I'm currently walking out of my current residence hall. That's that. To go to Mary Kate's house. And I'm gonna take you along on that walk. Although it's about 10 minutes, so we're gonna probably cut out the middle part when I can just show you the distance and then pick it up back up again. So I'm walking around the back where there's less people, which I appreciate. There's people there. It's really hard to not feel super self-conscious when walking around in public talking to a camera. So I'm scared of being seen. And I just got seen. So now I get to sing, the people at my college think that I'm crazy. The people at my college think that I'm crazy. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So I think it justifies walking around talking to a camera. Yeah, I think we're gonna cut a little bit here as I walk this small distance down to that parking lot right there. And then I'll pick back up again. Okay, we're at that parking lot I showed you a second ago. And just so you know, it is completely not a cliche that people play frisbee on the lawn, although that's our actual, like, ultimate frisbee team. There's some people around, but they're not looking at me right now, so this is alright. Yeah, it's about 10-15 minute walk to Mary Kate's place. It would be shorter if I didn't have to go find a bridge to get across the creek in her backyard. Well, it's in her front yard technically, but it feels like a backyard. You'll see why when we arrive. But it would be a like 3-minute shorter walk if it weren't for that little inconvenience. But anyway, I am still alive, as Mary Kate had to say about herself, as I do right now since I did not make a video for the last 2 weeks. Remember when I was like perfect all last semester and made one every single day, or every single week I mean? Yeah, I was awesome, and this semester I've totally failed. But as it would appear, I pretty much switched my days to Friday. I spent Thursday saying I need to make a video, and then decided tomorrow's better to make a video, and just make it on Friday. Crossing the train tracks here that go like all around my campus and my town, but rarely do trains go on them. And I don't know where they lead, because it doesn't appear to be like a train station for public use. But we're gonna make another cut here as I walk through this parking lot once again, over to that playground over there that I will show you. We now arrive at Kids Grove, and I'm realizing it's slightly windy out here, so I hope you can hear me, and I won't have to do some voiceovers when I get time to edit this. But this is Kids Grove, and as you can see, it's essentially a tiny little less awesome version of Kids Castle. And I come here with my friends sometimes when we're feeling childish, and it's where John and Kristen stole my shoes one time, and I had to walk around barefoot until a lady told me where the shoes were. I'm going to show you something awesome about this playground though. This is the random shield thing behind the entranceway that I really just want to quote-unquote graffiti into Captain America's shield. There's even a little stage. Okay, now we're going under a bunch of trees because we live in Pennsylvania, aka Penn's Woods, and like the town is covered in trees. Well, the state really. Take my glasses so you can see my face. I thought this would be the part I would cut out, but this is where there's the least people and I can actually talk and not be judged. So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I last talked to you. Oh, 3 weeks, I guess. Sorry. No wind, you probably can't hear me. You can see that those buildings are where Mary Kate lives. Specifically, where that big white SUV is, that's ours. That last one on the end of the unit on the left is Mary Kate's house. And hey, she might not have a giant box spring for a window cover anymore. That's nice. You probably can't hear me. Out here is where children play soccer a lot, and we don't know why they allowed Mary Kate to get a home that close to where children play soccer. But it's adorable. And I do feel weird when I walk through to her house and they're playing. I don't know if I said earlier, I have not actually seen Mary Kate since Sunday. It is currently Friday. Despite her living this close, she works and I have school. So we have not actually hung out, except Monday when I did go to her house and she wasn't there because I went to meet the cable guy and then stayed to play with the Wii. I did some Zumba, played some Harry Potter. It was a good time. And now I'll actually see her for the first time in a week despite living around the corner from me. I see these guys playing volleyball behind me. They probably think I'm nuts. Oh well. So I hope you can hear this or not. So yeah, we're getting to her house and you can start seeing the big creek bed. And normally I would have to go all the way down there to where there's that sign to cross a bridge, because that is a life trail where they have really stupid little exercise things, including for people in wheelchairs, and they're clearly meant for the old people that live in the retirement community across the street. But because someone who lives in this general area, I assume, has built the world's most unsafe bridge. So it's actually probably safer than a lot because there is reinforcements, but this is what I most often now use to get over to Mary Kate's house because I'm too lazy to walk the minute and a half over that bridge. We're getting there, almost to her house, and then I can tell my funny story without concern about wind drowning out my sound. I'll just tell that in her house, and she can enjoy that story as I tell it. But I performed for SAI on Wednesday night. It was a good time. They thought I was really sassy, and they snapped along with my jazzy song. And Mary Kate, are you in there? Yep. That's Mary Kate. She still has a back spring there. I'm talking to a camera, as per usual.
Hi, camera.
Welcome to Mary Kate's house that she's probably going to show you more on Monday or Tuesday or whatever her day is. And I have funny stories to tell you. Hey, so obviously all of that was shot yesterday on Friday and today is now Saturday. But in the process of filming that, I clearly walked away from my ability to edit things. So this is going up on Saturday and being set on Friday. We'll get back to a couple clips of Mary Kate and I just hanging out because they're kind of funny. But we have to discuss first my total ineptness at actually making sure the camera is recording. I said I was going to tell you a funny story in that last bit, but I uploaded my videos and realized that didn't get recorded. And neither did a couple clips, well mainly one clip of Mary Kate and I hanging out that I really enjoyed. So I have to fill in those gaps for you, starting with the story. So, Friday, like an hour before I filmed that video, I was sitting in my room on my computer playing Nancy Drew, you know, the usual, and I get a call from my friend Alyssa, who lives just down the hall and is adorable and I love her. And I get this call from her, kind of giggly, kind of like crying. I can't quite make out what the emotion she's having is, but she says, "Are you in Reed?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, can you come to my room?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll be there in a second. Hold on." Like, I put down all my stuff. So I'm walking down the hallway and I stay on the phone with her. It's a 3-second walk, which is just at the end of the hallway. But I stay on the phone and she's just kind of giggling, crying, talking. I can't tell if there's someone else in the room or not because I can't tell if she's talking to me or another person because I can't understand her. And I'm like, okay. And then as I'm getting to her door, she's like, "Alright, my door's open." I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming in right now." Hang up the phone, open the door, and see her on her bed that's about a couple inches higher than mine, but she's got it all the way up, looking like this. Yeah. She got stuck hanging halfway out of her bed because she dropped her cell phone and didn't want to get up to get it. So just tried to reach down like that and then couldn't get the strength to pull herself back up, and because her bed's so high, was too scared to tumble out of it and was somehow not able to get herself out of bed but make phone calls. I was like the third person she'd call, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever walked in on. Like, I literally fell to the floor laughing, took a picture of it on my phone before I would help her up. and she took like no shame in that. She was glad someone got to see it. I love her. And I was saying to Mary Kate when I was telling the story to the camera originally, and Mary Kate was there, that I've said multiple times now that she reminds me of Deirdre, who one time tried on a dress of mine and Mary Kate's, and then had some trouble getting out of it, and just stood there like, help me, while Mary Kate helped her out. So this comparison to Deirdre is proving more and more correct as things go on. But that was one of my favorite moments of college, I'm pretty sure, coming in on my friend's stuck hanging out of her bed. The clip that I'm really sad I missed getting, though, was when Mary Kate and I were hanging out in her front yard, backyard. It's weird because the street's on one side, and then her front door is on the other side, and then there's that whole field that I walked through that feels like her backyard, but it's technically her front yard. But anyway, we're hanging out. There's a bench she's standing on, wiggling around, because that thing is death trap. I almost died on it like 4 times. For some reason that can't get me to not stand on it and rock. But anyway, we're playing on that, when all of a sudden, on the street, comes a family, like a full carriage of Amish people, horse and buggy, just riding down the street. Like, I normally see like little ones, but this one was huge carriage with a full family in it. Just wandering down Mary Kate Street, going for a nice family ride in the horse and buggy. And it was amazing. And I was so upset when I realized I didn't record it. But Mary Kate's reaction to it was this. The people in my town are really, really Amish. Because there's levels of Amish. Wait, I'm going to make up a word here. There's levels of Amish-tivity. Making up words shows... Omniscity. There it is. Omniscity. Omniscity. Took me a couple tries, but I got it. Making up words shows creativity and I forget what else. According to Barney Stinson. Well, that. So yeah, that was my Friday, and then I went to Relay for Life after watching all of The Guild at Mary Kate's house, and pied my friend Kristen in the face. How did you guys do that so fast? I pied you in the face. But anyway, this video is probably really long, and I apologize for that, but it's to make up for the 2 missing weeks. So it's all just put into one long video. Yay! Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good week. Aren't too stressed out with the end of the semester for those of you who are in the end of the semester, which means everyone but Meg and Mary Kate. But I hope to see you guys, whether in video or in person, at some point. I'll see you later. Bye! Got green feet.